Hello there, and welcome to This Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining us. Today, we're going to step into a really cozy storybook world. We're about to explore a truly beautiful story all about friendship, compassion, and how the good things we do can come back to us in some pretty incredible ways. So grab a comfy seat because we're diving into a heartwarming tale called The Guardian in the Shadow.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever made a friend when you least expected it? Maybe someone brand new sat next to you. Or you met a pet and they just instantly felt like family. Well, sometimes the absolute most important relationships in our lives start as a complete surprise. And that is exactly what happens in the story we are about to explore together.
Chapter 1. A Quiet, Lonely Life.
Our story begins with a woman named Emma. I want you to picture a small, peaceful little house right near the edge of a great big forest. That's where Emma lived, all by herself. Now, it was peaceful, sure, but peace can actually feel pretty empty when you don't have anyone to share it with. Her days, well, every single day felt exactly the same. She went to work, she came home quietly, and in the evenings she would just sit by her window, watching the rain fall. There was no one to talk to, no one to laugh with. It was a very lonely way to live.
Chapter 2. The Stormy Night Surprise. All right, now picture the setting completely changing. That quiet rain turns into a loud, dark, stormy night. The wind is howling outside her little house near the forest. Emma is sitting inside, all alone as usual, when suddenly she hears something strange coming from right outside her front door. Scratch, scratch. It definitely wasn't the wind. It wasn't the trees. It was a very specific, quiet sound right against the wood of her door.
Emma slowly opened the door, and standing right there in the freezing, pouring rain was a thin, black street dog. His fur was completely soaked, and his eyes looked so tired and so very hungry. "You poor little thing," she whispered. She didn't even hesitate. She didn't worry about getting mud on her floors. She just felt this immediate, deep sadness for this frightened animal, and her heart opened up instantly. She knew she had to help him out of the cold. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how her immediate actions broke down into 3 thoughtful steps of kindness. She didn't just let him in, she really cared for him. First, she dried his soaked fur with a warm towel. Second, she made sure his hungry tummy was full by giving him some warm soup. And third, she gave him a soft blanket right near her cozy fireplace. It was just a perfect, logical sequence of pure compassion.
Chapter 3. Becoming Best Friends.
The dog looked up at Emma, and his eyes weren't just tired anymore, they were filled with gratitude. He slowly began to wag his tail. And you guys, for the first time in so many days, Emma actually smiled. That simple wag of a tail brought so much joy into her quiet house. She decided right then and there to give him a name. She called him Shadow, because a shadow is a friend who stays with you everywhere. From that day on, he waited for her by the door every morning and sat right beside her while she read her books by the fire.
Slowly, Emma stopped feeling lonely. The quiet house just wasn't empty anymore. It was filled with the happy sound of paws, the warmth of a friend, and the feeling of being loved. Shadow had completely changed Emma's world, but their incredible new bond was about to be put to the ultimate test.
Chapter 4. The Midnight Fire Escape. The peacefulness of their new life was suddenly shattered. One night, while Emma was fast asleep, a broken electrical wire sparked in the kitchen. Before anyone knew what was happening, a dangerous fire began to grow, and thick, dark smoke started filling the house. Let's move to and see how this builds. At midnight, smoke fills the kitchen. But moments later, because dogs have such an incredible sense of smell, Shadow detects the danger. Quickly after that, his warning wakes Emma up, and soon after, because she woke up in time, firefighters are able to arrive. This rapid chain of events is exactly how disaster was avoided.
Woof, woof, woof. Shadow didn't run away from the smoke. No way. He bravely jumped right onto Emma's bed, barking as loudly as he possibly could. Emma woke up coughing, her eyes stinging from the smoke. She saw the fire growing in the kitchen, and because of Shadow's frantic, loud warning, they both rushed outside just in the absolute nick of time.
Chapter 5. The Circle of Love.
The firefighters arrived quickly and were able to stop the fire. But as all that chaos settled, a really deep, beautiful calm washed over the scene. The danger had passed. Emma and Shadow were standing outside together, completely safe in the cool night air. Emma dropped to her knees, crying, and hugged Shadow so tightly. She whispered, "You saved my life, my brave boy." Emma had saved Shadow from the storm, and now Shadow had saved Emma from the fire.
As the golden morning sun slowly rose behind them, casting a warm light over the forest, a truth settled right into Emma's heart. Emma knew she would never be alone again. They had forged a bond that nothing could break. They were family.
So, the crucial point is right here in the moral of our story. Sometimes the love we give returns when we need it most. Emma's simple act of giving a cold, wet dog some soup and a blanket created this amazing circle of love that ended up saving her life. It's a brilliant reminder that kindness is never wasted. It always pays forward.
And that brings us to our final question that I want to leave you with today. How can you show a little kindness to someone or an animal today? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It could be sharing a toy, offering a smile, or helping out a pet. Remember Emma and Shadow, and remember that the love you put into the world always makes it a brighter, safer place. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I can't wait to explore our next amazing topic with you.